Yes, much love to you. We appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Welcome, welcome. All right, guys. Today's topic, the hard work hoax. All right. The hard work hoax is success about the grind or just good luck. Okay. What's up, family? Welcome back to another exciting episode of J&B Live Podcast with your host, Broker J3, and the beautiful Dr. B, where we keep it real, raw, and unfiltered. I'm your host, Broker J3.
Hi, and I'm Dr. B. And you already know, guys. You already know what time it is. It's time for us to talk about it.
That's right. Tonight's topic is going to ruffle some feathers. We're breaking down the truths about success. Is it really about hard work or is it just luck and connections?
Yes, yes, yes. So this is going to get heated at times, guys, but we aim to keep it real because some people, they grind their whole lives and sadly they still struggle while other people fall into success. It's like they slip and they're successful even without trying. We're breaking down the truth about success, the hustle culture, privilege, and who actually wins in life. We're going to break all of that down for you guys.
All right, so let's talk about it.
Yes, thank you.
Is success really earned or is the game rigged right from the start? So grab your popcorn because it's about to be a debate of the ages. All right.
It is. All right. Thank you, broadcaster. Thank you, LA Jules. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate your support. Blue, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Jenny, Joe Robinson, thank you guys. Much love to you guys, and thank you guys for being a part of the J&B family. Thank you guys. Thank you for your support.
And before we start off with the first segment, guys, remember to tap the screen. Let us know that you're there. We appreciate some of you guys that's tapping the screen.
Yes,
we'll appreciate
tap.
we appreciate your gifts. We have a gift goal. We want to reach that goal today. It's 100 hearts. So you guys go ahead and send that out. Send your gifts. We'll appreciate all the love that you guys give us. And for some of you special subscribers out there, make sure you subscribe to our subscription so you can get detailed insights, with J&B Live. We appreciate it. A little bit goes a long way. So thank you so much.
Yes, it does.
All right. Our first segment today is the American Dream. Is it a fact or a fiction? Let's get into it. All right, Dr. B, let's get real. This whole work hard and you'll succeed thing, is it a fact or a fiction? Because I know some fake folks are breaking their backs and they still can't seem to catch a break. All right. We've all heard the same thing. Work hard and you'll succeed. But I know people working harder than ever and still barely surviving. So is this American? Is this American? Or is it just a dream? Fact or fiction? You tell me.
Okay. I hear you, Broker J3. But this is what it's all about, guys. That's that old myth. You work hard and you'll succeed. But come on, hard work is still a major factor. You still got to get out there and work hard and grind. You can't just sit back and expect for success to fall in your lap. Now, some people that it does, because if you're wealthy, it might fall into your lap. I won't say it's fiction, but it's definitely incomplete. It's not realistic. Hard work still matters, but if it was the only factor, every single hardworking person would be rich. And that is not the case.
Exactly. But we know that's not how the world works. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
If it were, construction workers, teachers, and nurses, all of them would be millionaires. Instead, a dude reviewing sneakers on YouTube is making six figures. But tell me this, if hard work guarantees success, why do we see janitors working 3 jobs just to survive? Well, some trust fund babies are making millions off of stocks that they inherited.
Yeah. And so this is where the world, it becomes a little bit uneven. But Broker J3, there's a difference between working hard and working strategically. Just because you put in the long hours doesn't mean you're putting in the right kind of hours. Okay, fair point. But effort still matters. You can't deny that people who grind and put in the hours, they eventually are going to see some results. What do you think, Broker J3?
Now, let me see. See, that's what my problem is. A lot of people don't even get a chance to be strategic, Doc B. They're too busy just trying to survive. You know, how do you work smart when life focuses on you grinding nonstop? What about the people who grind and never see results? You know, is hard work enough, or do you need the right connections and the right timing?
And you can ask yourself, sometimes it's just knowing the right people. That's what you say to yourself. Sometimes I wish I knew that person, then I could get ahead. But sometimes it's just unfair because you're working harder. You don't have time to be strategic. So that's the cycle that people get trapped in. The key isn't just grinding harder, it's learning the game and making some moves that actually lead somewhere. That's why you got to do more than grind. You got to be strategic with it. So we're going to look at a scenario where the hard working struggler is versus the connected opportunist.
We need to get into that. All right. Let's talk about two people, Doc B. Let's talk about it. Both want to make it big. You know, the hard working struggler, he wants to make it big, as well as the connected opportunity. They both want to make it big. First, we got Mike. It's a dude working 12-hour shifts, grinding every day, believing if he just works hard enough, he'll get rich. Then we got Jake, who barely works at all. His dad introduced him to a guy that gave him a 6-figure job. Who's actually winning here?
Well, bottom line, you already know Jake is winning. But let's be fair. Mike could still make it now. He can make it. But he has to play it right.
But how? How, Doc B? Mike is stuck working all day. When does he have time to network?
Okay, so that's the problem. He's too busy working in his life instead of working on his life. He needs to leverage that skill that he has, meet the right people, get out there and find smarter ways to grow. He's got to figure that out.
But see, that's my point, Doc B. He's too busy working. You know what I'm saying? The system isn't built for people like Mike. If connections matter more than effort, then isn't working hard kind of a scam?
No, it's not a scam. It's just incomplete advice. Hard work needs the direction. If Mike never learns the game, he'll stay exactly where he is stuck. But if he starts working smarter instead of just hard, work smarter, not harder, he can break out of that cycle. Before we go any further, James Griffin, thank you. Orlando Rooks, thank you. Husbuddy, thank you. Jeff Hayes, thank you guys. Much love to you. Thank you, Bestie. Thank you guys for sending the gift. Thank you.
So here's the lesson here. Stop grinding in circles. Learn the game, play the game, and change the game.
Change the game to your advantage. Yes. So next we're going to move into the next topic, which is the role of luck. You know, Broker J3 mentioned this earlier. Is it just luck, being at the right place and the right time? What do you guys think? Please feel free to add something in the comment section, whether you think some people are just born lucky and just happen to just fall into, you know, to where they can be financially stable by luck. Broker J3, I know you're about to say success is all about luck, but come on, what do you guys think too? Are you telling?
Someone commented in
what
there.
Are they talking about? What are they talking about? We're talking about how people should work smarter, not harder, and the fact that some people are just handed a role or a 6-figure job. Some people struggle and they never make it, but yet some people can just have that handed to them. And so we're trying to figure out, and we're discussing ways to encourage everyone to work smarter, not harder, and to be patient and to still grind and to work strategically.
And if you missed the topic, came in a little late.
Yes.
The topic is the hard work hoax. Is success about the grind or just good luck? That was the topic, just in case you missed it.
So thank you, Destiny, for pointing that out and catching everybody up, getting everybody up to speed. For those of you who are just not joining us,
we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, team, for joining us. Thank you, Ben Jamming, for joining us. 420 Smoke. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this topic. And you guys may have been lucky. You may have caught that break and just been lucky. But for those of you who are out there grinding and you're wondering, you ask yourself, when will I ever get ahead? Will I ever make it? Will I ever become successful? Well, we're saying to you, yes, you can, but it just doesn't happen overnight, and you have to be patient.
All right, Doc B, let's talk about that role of luck. Is it the right place, right time?
Okay. All right, Broker J3. I know you're about to say, like I said, success is not all about luck. But come on, are you telling me that Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, or JC all got lucky? You think they just got lucky?
Well, what I'm saying is they had key moments of luck. You know what I'm saying? Right connections, right timing, right circumstances. You really think every genius who grinds makes it?
Okay, I'll give you that. Timing does matter. It does matter. But if you don't put yourself in the right places, how do you even get lucky?
But see, that's the thing. Some people are born into the right places. Some people have to hustle for years, like Jay-Z, just to get a shot at that lucky break.
Yeah. And a lot of people use the terminology, a lot of people are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. I've heard that before. But I can truly say, and I'm a living testimony, that if you work hard, you can get ahead. You can get ahead. So now, what's the solution? If luck plays such a big role in it, should people just give up?
No.
Look for that 40 clover that we used to look for?
No, they shouldn't give up at all, Doc B. But what they should focus on is maximizing their odds instead of thinking working hard alone is the magic key, because it's not. You can, you work hard your whole life and never get anywhere.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite sayings, I say this all the time. So if you've met me personally, I say it all the time. I'm all about working smarter, not harder. I'm all about maximizing what I have to cut my time in half. In other words, if I'm doing something that takes me 3 hours, if I can find a way to do it in an hour, I'm going to find that way, because I believe in maximizing my time. I work smarter, not harder. But does the hustle culture lie? Is it lying to us?
So Dr. B, we've all heard it. Grind hard, hustle hard every day. Success don't come easy. We heard that. But what I'm starting to think, that's a lie. I really believe that. That's a lie. People aren't working 80 hours a week. They're working smarter, not harder.
Wait a minute now, Broker J3. I get it. You're saying the hustle culture is toxic, but you can't discount that hard work. Even wealthy people didn't get to where they are just by sitting on their hands. There was a lot of work behind their wealth too.
But that's the thing, B. They weren't working harder. They were working smarter. A tech CEO, like Elon Musk, can be on a golf course while his company is making millions. Meanwhile, somebody working 3 jobs to pay rent, they ain't getting nowhere.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Some people figure out how to leverage that time. They create systems, they build some teams, and they automate some of the things that they're doing. So yes, you can work hard, but working smart means you're not stuck grinding for every dollar. You got to be able to leverage and put yourself out other things as well.
Okay. But isn't there an inherent advantage that comes to those that start off, smart? Some people are born into families with resources, and they just happen to fall into the right opportunity. Example, no disrespect, like look at the LeBron James family. We all know Bronny James is not the best basketball player, but because of his daddy, he's with the LA Lakers, even though he's in the D League now, but he still had an opportunity that most guys that probably play a lot better than him don't have. So how does someone from a tough background get to that point?
Okay, so this is a challenge. This is a challenge for someone without resources, because you don't have those resources to put you ahead of the game. But that's where learning how to leverage what you have comes in. Look at people who start with almost nothing. And I can say I've started with almost nothing, but you find a way to build wealth through your skills. You educate yourself, you network, and then there may be some unique opportunities that you take advantage of to put yourself ahead. You focus on what you can control, like education, educating yourself, or you can do some personal branding.
You're right, Doc B.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a privilege too, isn't it? Come on now. Not everyone has access to tools and information to work smarter. Let's be real now. A lot of people out here hustling their hearts out, but still don't know how to use the tools that will help them to get ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not equal for everyone. It's not a level playing field. I'm going to be just honest with you about that. I never will forget when my son was probably, one of my middle son was probably about 12. He would say, we would always say, well, Mama, that's not fair. That's not fair. No, it's not fair. The world is not fair. Right now, you're experiencing some things within the world where there's going to be a lot of racism. There's going to be some opportunities that you're going to miss because it's the world is not fair. So you've got to figure out a way to get yourself ahead. You're going to have to do that. So let's talk about the mindset. People from tough backgrounds might need to learn how to shift their perspectives from survival mode to success mode, getting out of that grind all the time mentality into an entrepreneurship where you're thinking about starting your own business. They don't have to work smarter. They have to think differently.
Okay, so you're basically saying at the end of the day, it's not about the grind, just about the grind. You know, it's about creating the right environment for success.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying, Doc B?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. All right. So get the right information, connect with the right people, and stop running on a treadmill with no destination.
In other words, you're running, but you don't know where you're going. Have a plan.
I got it.
Gotcha.
Who else joined us?
Okay, so Nosy Nisi, thank you for joining us. Let's see. Nishabu. Alberto Flores, thank you for joining us. Derek joining us. We appreciate you guys' support. Larry Miles and Lay, thank you for joining us. Much love to you guys. Yvette Wimberly, thank you guys for being a part of the J&B family. We appreciate your support and thank you guys so much. Thank you.
And remember, guys, please tap the screen to let us know that you're still alive and not dealing with those bots out there.
Yes.
You know, we appreciate the love. We are trying to get to our heart goal. So if you guys send a heart, send a gift, we appreciate it.
Yes.
A little bit goes a long way. We appreciate your support. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into segment 4 today, which is the system. Is it rigged, you know, or not? Let's find out what's really going on.
Yeah.
I feel like the system is rigged, period. You know what I'm saying? Look at generational wealth, you know, connections, and even access to good education. It's not a level playing field here. Let's just be real. Some people are born with that golden ticket, and others are stuck at the bottom of the rug, under the ladder, and climbing endlessly. You know, it's a difference if you're born with a family, you got plenty of money, you know, own multiple businesses, and you're born into a family where you growing up in the projects, you know, you in the slums. It ain't got nothing to do with you personally. It's just the family that you was born into.
Yeah, and that is so sad, but there are inequalities. They exist. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. It's not fair how the system is set up. There's no denying that access to opportunity is different. Sometimes it's dependent on where you start. It's even dependent on where you live, sadly. But just because it's not a fair game doesn't mean that you can't work hard, work strategically, and you can still win.
I don't know. But that's the problem, Doc B. The system is designed for some people to win. You know, look at the real estate moguls, you know, tech billionaires, Lord knows, and them damn politicians, you know, they got connections, you know, they got power. They got resources that regular folks will never have access to. It feels like no matter how hard you work, you always hit that glass ceiling.
And I know that some of you feel like that, especially if you're grinding and you seem like you can't get ahead, if you just making ends meet, if you can't pay your bills. I know you feel like that, but you have to remember, even in a system that seems rigged, there are still ways to move around. It's not about beating the system, but finding your own lane within it. You may not start with the same resources that everyone else has, but that does not mean you cannot create your own opportunities.
All right. Okay. Let's take an example from Lenny, a from a small town. Lenny is from a small town with no connections. Okay. He's smart, hardworking, but his network consists of only his high school friends. That's it. And then you've got Ryan. He grew up in a wealthy family with every opportunity laid out to him. Lenny has to work 10 times harder just to get noticed, while Ryan's parents probably have people paving the way for him.
Yeah,
How does Lenny even compete?
Yeah, that is a tough situation, But Lenny has something that Ryan doesn't have. That's hunger and desire. When you have to fight something, you learn how to be resourceful. I can't think of too many Black women that don't know how to be resourceful. Lenny might not have the right connections right now, but he can create them by networking strategically, showing his values, showing his worth, and building his own platform. Social media, he can use that to do it. Online education, he can even participate in some networking events. These are all tools that he can use to bridge that gap.
I agree a little bit.
Yeah.
But you asking someone who already struggled to put themselves out there into the world. And that's so overwhelming for most people. It's easy to say network, but for somebody that barely has time to eat because they're working so hard, how do they even build up their empire?
Well, I understand where you're coming from because of the time. The grind is real, and the system isn't exactly for the underdog, but mindset is key. Lenny can start small. He don't have to start big. Maybe a blog, he can do a podcast, or just a side hustle where he can use his skills. And so people can see those skills. It's about him finding opportunities where he can shine, even when he feels like the deck is stacked up against him.
But can we honestly say the system is really about merit when people like Ryan, who may not even have the best qualification, can still climb because of his family ties? Come on now. Or when that tech startup owner can build something out of nothing simply because they have that money, that venture capital backing them.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's all about merit.
Yeah, and I've heard the statement, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I've heard that all the time.
Yes, it is.
And especially in corporate America. But I get that frustration. And I admit privilege is a real thing, but merit matters too. And just take Oprah, for example, who came from very humble beginnings and still became a global icon. It wasn't luck. It was about grinding smarter, building trust that she did, and creating a vision. She had a vision of what she wanted to do. It didn't just happen overnight where she had her own talk show, she had her own network. It did not happen overnight. She had a vision. So she didn't have the same starting points as others. She didn't even think she had the right look that the other people had. But she used the resources that she had. She learned from the setbacks that she had, and she created her own system to succeed.
So what you're saying, Doc B, is that everyone, no matter their starting point, has a fair shot, even if they keep grinding smarter and building their networks?
Yes, they do have a fair shot now, but it is not a guaranteed win. That's just life. But everyone has a shot. It's not about waiting for the system to give you a break, but about finding the cracks in the system that allow you to build something that is uniquely yours. Some people create their own success within a system that wasn't designed for them. It's not fair, but it is possible. And another example is Beyonce. They didn't really like her Cowboy album, but look what she did. The odds were stacked up against her, but guess what? She created it. She created her own uniqueness, and she did it her own. And she circumvented several different venues to get to what she needed to do.
I hear that, Doc B. So even if the system is rigged, there is a way to hack it, to find ways to leverage what's available and create your own opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. So it's not about beating the system. It's about outsmarting the system. And that's why the system may be unfair, but it's important to realize that the power of change often lies within us. So Tarshay, thank you for joining us. Mario Marks, thank you for joining us. Bless Faith, Catch 22. Thank you guys for joining us. We have R Long. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you guys.
Hey, Tarshay.
Hey Tarshay, how are you? We have Blackman, Lady T. Thank you for joining us, and Moose. Thank you guys for joining us. Much love to you, and thank you for being a part of the J&B family. Thank you guys.
And again, guys, remember, tap that screen. Let us know that you're there and you're paying attention. You can always comment.
Yes.
As we talk, you guys know that J&B Live is an interactive podcast. We love to hear from our subscribers and our followers.
Yes.
We love to bring you guys in on the chat, on the live rather.
Yes.
So make sure you do that. So tap the screen, send a gift. We are trying to make it to our goal this evening, so we'll appreciate it. Every little bit counts.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to jump right into the next scenario, guys. It's called the luck factor, all right? This is about two artists with two different outcomes, okay? Let's break it down. Here we go. Now, let's say you have Tasha and Lisa, okay? Tasha and Lisa. You know, two artists, both incredibly talented, both working hard, all right? But Tasha drops her music online, working endlessly, grinding every beat and every lyric, but barely gets any attention. Meanwhile, Lisa drops one song that just explodes. It goes viral, gets picked up by two influencers, then suddenly she's on the map.
And it can happen, people. It can happen. That is the luck factor in play. There's no denying that timing and exposure can completely shift someone's trajectory. It can happen overnight, in the seconds, minutes, seconds. Lisa hit the right trend, connected with the right audience, and she got picked up at the perfect time. So it can happen.
But this is what's frustrating, Doc B. Tasha is putting in all the hard work, but Lisa didn't even try. But you know what I'm saying? Does hard work really pay off? Or is success just about getting lucky at the right moment?
Okay. The thing is, success isn't always instant. Just because Tasha didn't see immediate results, it does not mean that she's failing. It just means that her moment hasn't come yet. She's got to be patient. And we talked about that earlier. There's tons of examples of people where people worked hard for years. They stayed consistent. And then one day the right person heard their work and their trend took off. And boom, they were successful. It can happen.
But there's a real disconnect here. If Tasha keeps grinding and still doesn't get noticed, it's going to feel like she's chasing something that's always out of her reach. How can she even know if she's doing the right thing or just spinning her wheels?
Yeah, that's tricky. Sometimes Tasha's approach might need to change. You know, she may have to change the way she does things. Maybe she has to figure out how to get her music in front of the right audience, or maybe she hasn't tapped into the right platforms or collaborated with the right people. Luck might have even played a role in Lisa's story, but Tasha can't make her own luck about adjusting her strategy. She has to just be patient, reach out to the right people, and build her brand more intentionally. That's what she needs to do.
So she keeps working hard. But as a little, like connecting with influencers, reaching out to music blogs, and promoting her work more efficiently, she could turn her luck around.
Exactly. Hard work plus that grinding plus strategy equals opportunities. But let's be real. Tasha has to be patient because it may not be overnight. Even though it may seem like Lisa had overnight success, she probably had her own version of grinding behind the scenes. You don't know what she did to get there, in other words.
But that's where it gets even more complicated, Doc B. Tasha doesn't have the platform that Lisa does. And without the right connections, it makes it a lot longer for her to get discovered. You know, that's why so many people feel like the game is rigged, like I do sometimes. You know, they work just as hard as others, but they can't seem to get that break.
Yeah, and I get it. I know people are frustrated because I've been there, done that, and I've been frustrated before where I had someone that was telling me what to do that was didn't have the education level I did, and I was wondering why I never got promoted. Yeah, so I understand, how you can be frustrated in that particular area. But the music industry is a perfect example of this, not just corporate America. Talent is everywhere, but sometimes luck, connections, and timing are deciding factors. But the real lesson here isn't that Tasha can't succeed. It's about her persistence. In other words, she needs to continue grinding, continue working strategically until it's her time. And she's at that right time when she can be lucky as well. It's all about her persistence.
So what you're saying is, if Tasha keeps going, adjust her approach, and put herself in the right position, her time will come.
Yes, I believe it will. I should remember, love doesn't have to be a fluke. If Tasha keeps learning, connecting, and sharing her story, she can create a moment that feels just as lucky as Lisa's moment.
Yeah, so Tasha just needs to stay in the game, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Keep her head down and keep doing her work until her time comes, no matter how long it takes.
Yes.
If she's in the music business and she wants to be an artist and that's her thing, you keep grinding at what you love and stay persistent, make those changes, and your time will come.
Yeah, and not just grinding now, but you want to be alert. You want to know what's happening. You want to keep refining the way you do things. You want to keep learning. You want to keep growing and being strategic about your journey at the same time. Now, Lisa's path in this particular scenario may not always be as secure as it seems. Luck is great, but it can fade away as quickly as you could be lucky one minute, and the next thing you can not be unlucky, and it fades away. Tasha's hard work, when combined with the right choices, can give her staying power. You've had artists that have dropped one album, and you've never heard of them again. But you got some that came back, like Mary J. Blige, who've been around for how many years?
Yeah,
30 years. So you have to think about that as well. It's not always about luck. It can happen to you, but you want that staying power.
So really, it's about playing the long game. Even though it may feel unfair, the grind eventually pays off if you're smart about it.
Absolutely. So the system may be rigged. We already came to that conclusion. And luck plays a role. Yes, that is true. But success is still about the long haul. Keep putting yourself out there, and eventually your break will come. Just like Lisa's. But it'll be your version of lucky. Okay, guys? All right, Demetrius, May, thank you for joining us. Melly, we've got C. Sickly, Aaron Tiger. Thank you guys for joining us. We've got Reggie Wilder, Donnie Weston. Thank you guys for joining us. Much love to you. Thank you for being a part of the J&B family. Thank you guys.
And to thank all of you guys out there that's on the live via TikTok,
yes,
Bigo Live, or YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Remember, tap the screen,
yes,
subscribe, and share the live. You can always go to our live content and our major content that's on YouTube. Remember, send a gift. We appreciate it. It goes a long way, and we thank you for your support. We're going to go ahead and jump into the next segment, the truth behind the grind. How much does hard work really matter? Because this is something, that a lot of people really, really want to know. All right, Doc B, let's bring it home. We're about to close this thing out. We've been talking about the grind and the hustle, the hard work, and everybody says the secret to success, right? But I want to circle back and ask, does all the grinding even matters if luck is not on your side? Can we really say it's just about the grind?
Okay, so that is a tough question, Broker J3. We've heard it time and time again. Hard work pays off. But does it always? You ask yourself that question. There are a lot of people out there who put in hours, sacrifice a lot of time, and they still don't see the success that they expected to see. And then there's someone who gets lucky with one viral post and they're famous, or an expected connection, and boom, they're on top. How do you reconcile that with the idea that hard work is the answer to it all?
Right. And honestly, if we really look at the world of success, How many stories have we heard of someone working their entire life, building their business, grinding hard, only see someone else come in with a stroke of luck and overtake them in a year? It almost makes you wonder, what does the grind, does it even really matter?
Yeah, work hard. Well, hard work, absolutely, it matters. A lot of people, I don't want people to walk away with thinking that hard work does not matter. It does. But it isn't always the only factor. We're just saying you're going to have to do more than grind. Success is a combination of preparation, luck, and timing. Sometimes people grind for years and that moment never comes. That's sad. But it doesn't mean that work was in vain. The work that they did, the grinding was in vain. On the flip side, success can come to you unexpectedly out of nowhere. But if you haven't been grinding in the right way, you may not be able to sustain that success. That's the key to it, being able to be around more than just 15 minutes. You want to sustain and keep your success.
And that's a great point, Dot B. So grinding is necessary, but luck and timing play a role in whether the grind leads to success. And if the grind isn't working, maybe it's time to reassess what it is that's not working. You understand? But you have to remember, you don't want to work hard. You want to work smarter.
Yes, you want to work smarter, not harder. If the grind isn't producing results, then it's maybe time to shift your strategy. In other words, be strategic with your grinding. Grinding with the wrong approach can lead to burnout and you're already frustrated, more frustration. But if you're grinding smart, make the right connection. Sometimes it's about who you know. Position yourself for luck to find you. Then when the real magic happens, you're ready. You can't control when luck hits, but you can certainly control how you are prepared for it when it does hit. Now we've got some people using the little emojis. So thank you guys for doing that. Kamari, thank you. Murad Guka, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys. We appreciate your comments. Thank you again for being a part of our J&B family. We appreciate you.
Thank you. So it's about the balance between grinding, being strategic, and also being ready for the opportunity when it presents itself. It's not just about working nonstop, but about working in the right direction, in the right space, and with the right people.
Exactly. So the truth behind the grind, and this is our wrap up, is not a one size fits all equation. Your hard work is important. You want to keep grinding, but it's not the only factor. You need to stay flexible, be willing to change, keep an eye on your goals, know where you're going, and be open to new opportunities. And more importantly, understand that luck, though it's not a guarantee, can work in your advantage within that grind if you're in the right place at the right time.
So in the end, it's all about the journey. All right, guys?
Yes.
It's about the grind, the right circumstances that create success. You can't rely on just one of those factors. You need a combination to make it work.
Exactly, Broker J. There's no magic formula, unfortunately, but being consistent, adaptable, and prepared. When luck does strike, it'll give you that chance of best success. Hard work matters, but it's not only the story, it's part of the story.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode, folks. We've broken down the hard work hoax, challenged the idea of grinding nonstop, and really asked the tough questions. Is success truly about the hustle, or is luck the secret ingredient? The answer is both. Hard work matters, but being in the right place at the right time can make all the difference.
Yes. Thank you, Dara Hill. Victor Otero, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate your comments. Maria Life, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you guys joining us today. We've had an exciting topic. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for your comments. So keep adding those comments if you don't mind. We appreciate that. David Albert, thank you for joining us. Loverboy. So There's one takeaway, guys, from this episode today is that work smart, stay ready, and when luck comes knocking, it's gonna come knocking. Be prepared to open that door.
Couldn't have said it better, Doc B. But before we go, we want to thank each and every one of you for rocking with us today. You know, whether you're watching, you know, listening, or engaging with us in the comments, we appreciate you being a part of the JB family. You know, I always say we appreciate you guys for helping JB Live Podcast grow. It's been an amazing experience. We thank you guys. Please continue to send the gifts.
Yes, thank you.
And to let us know that you guys appreciate and you love us. We thank you for that.
Yes, we do. We couldn't bring this podcast to everyone without your support, and we do appreciate it. We can't say that enough. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the follow button so that we can continue to bring you this information. So we want you to stay connected as well with all of our major platforms. We're on at Live with J and B everywhere. That's YouTube, TikTok, Bigo Live, Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, fan base, guys, and Lemonade. We thank you guys.
Yeah, King Key, we don't need the disrespectful comments. You can't tell if somebody is dumb by looking at their face. You know, that is the most stupidest thing I've heard.
Yes.
You know, if we appreciate you, but we don't need that at all.
Yes.
So please stay out of our room with that unnecessary stuff like that.
Yeah, we want positive energy because that's what we're here for. We're not here for any negativity. What we do is we try to bring a podcast to you guys so that we can talk about different things, so that we can educate ourselves and we can work smarter, not harder, which is the topic for today's podcast. So we do appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for joining us again. And remember to keep it positive.
Yeah, and you go ahead and let them know they keep connected with us.
Okay, I've already done the different platforms that we're available.
All right, guys. I apologize. I got a little thrown off track with the negative comment. But for you audio listeners out there that don't have time to be able to watch us, and you're on the go and you love listening to your favorite podcast, you can catch us wherever you get your podcasts. We're at J&B Live Podcast. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer, Podbean. So no excuses. You can find us everywhere that you're enjoying your podcast listening.
Yeah, and don't forget to share this episode with your family, with your friends, and that one cousin that you have who swears they're just one hustle away from success. Let's keep this conversation going. Drop us a comment. You can DM us if you like, and just let us know what you think.
All right, that's right, guys. And until next time, I'm Broker J3.
And I'm Dr. B.
And let's talk about it.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Stay positive, guys.
Thank you so much for your support. We thank you, guys.